Alright, everybody. Hi. Um, Insanity. What is that? Another big question. I like the big questions, I guess. Sanity, I talked a little bit about last time. And yeah, this is the opposite of that. So, what did I say sanity was? I guess being in reality, being in the real world. Um, Reacting to what is actually going on internally and externally. Um, so the opposite of that is not being in reality. It's being in something that's not going on. That can take so many forms. Um, fear. Fear of things that aren't there. Um, Feels very real. Always. The unreal world feels real. You got emotions as if the thing were actually happening. Thoughts around it. There's a huge range. I think it goes from very small, where things are annoying, like a thought you can't get rid of, something that happened yesterday that's just bothering you. Or some worry about something that is going to happen, might happen, and how it will go. Just normal stress type stuff. All the way to completely being, I would say, overwhelmed by your own world, being completely immersed in it and stuck in it. And all the way on that end is psychosis, basically, where you're visibly, obviously, not really inhabiting the real world anymore. So obviously, huge range. And the smaller things are often pretty funny if you look at them and see them. Like the paranoia I talked about yesterday that I have about people watching me out the back here, which is funny because it's ridiculous. If it were all like that, okay, fine. But it's definitely not all like that. It causes huge amounts of pain and suffering internally and then externally when we bring it out, when it comes out of us. It's easy to see kind of like when another person is hurt by it, or when one person hurts another. It's kind of easy to see, especially when they do it physically. Easy to see. And we have rules and laws and stuff to try to prevent those things from happening. We're not allowed to do that. That's what we say as a society. But I'm pretty sure that way more frequent in what's happening most of the time is that internally this is happening. internally we are in some state that then requires us to hurt other people almost, or that's just a byproduct. And most of the time, or what we don't see a lot of the time, and we don't have laws against, is crushing ourselves, hurting ourselves, which we're doing constantly. And when we see that, we also know that there's something wrong. But we treat it differently. And it's hard to laugh about a lot of the time because it's feelings are sadness, anger, all kinds of different things. And yeah, there's a saying, or whatever, if it weren't so sad, it would just be funny. I come from, a background or a history of addiction in my family and also around friends. And I've experienced the power of this stuff. And with addiction, again, it's easy to see. It's almost like it gives us something to focus on, where it's obvious that there's something wrong. So it's easy to say, hey, you are doing this drug too much. The line's a little blurry, but you reach a certain point, it's easy to see you're doing that drug too much. But it applies to all kinds of things, behaviors, other, shopping, TV watching, internet, whatever. And the results can be so destructive, so when someone's isolating in their apartment, doing what they do, not really interacting with the world very much, they're not really hurting other people that much. I mean, they might not be spreading like joy around the globe, but they're not hurting anybody, so they're under that radar. But they could be so violent to themselves, mostly psychologically, emotionally, the impacts of that, and then physically, whether it's over time or in a moment of hurting themselves. The cats are hunting again. Yeah, whether it's all at once in a moment of, hurting yourself in loads of different ways. And we all know this. We've all done it to varying degrees. And for the most part, it's over something that isn't really like right there in front of you. Yeah. The amount of pain that we endure, that we cause, I guess you could say, that we're stuck in. is amazing. It's overwhelming. It's huge. So it's sometimes hard to see the other side of it, to even see sanity, to see that as an option, like to see that there's a different way. Um, but I would say there is. In any case, I wanted to talk. I'm sure I'll talk more about this, kind of what the whole thing's about. Um, but I wanted to get started with it. So thank you.